Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The North Ridgeville City Council meeting is now in session. Today is Monday, August 5th, 2024. If you could please rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Father, we thank you for the wonderful community in which we live and for the opportunity to represent it as our City Council. We ask you for your continued guidance to help us collectively make prudent decisions for the city and its residents. We pray in your name, amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
Swink.
Here.
Schaefer.
Here.
Abens.
Here.
Winkle.
Here.
Awig.
Here.
DeVries.
Here.
Jacobs.
Here.
Mr. Mayor. Here. Law Director.
Here.
Engineer.
Here.
Finance Director.
Here.
Clerk of Council. Here.
All right, tonight under the approval of minutes, we have the regular City Council meeting minutes dated July 15th, 2024. Are there any changes or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, the minutes stand approved. Please note that Council has also received the CRA Housing Council meeting minutes dated July 15th, 2024, June 12th, 2024, Parks and Recreation Commission meeting minutes dated June 26th, 2024, the Civil Service Commission meeting minutes dated July 22nd, 2024, as well as the Board of Zoning and Building Appeals meeting minutes dated July 25th, 2024. That will bring us to our lobby session. For those of you who are not familiar, the lobby session is the portion of our meeting in which the public can address both City Council as well as the administration. Anybody wishing to speak this evening, we do ask that you speak from the podium, and from the podium only, please. I will ask you to begin by stating your name and address for the record, at which time you will be allowed up to 3 minutes to speak regarding any matters pertaining to the business of City Council or the general affairs of the City of North Ridgeville. Also, as a reminder, in the interest of time, the lobby session is not intended to be an interactive question and answer period, but nonetheless, we do welcome your feedback. And depending on the nature of your concerns, or your comments rather, a council member may follow up with you. So at this time, the lobby session is now open. Is there anybody in attendance this evening who wishes to address council or the administration? Okay, seeing none, the lobby session is closed. We'll move on to administrators' reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. On tonight's agenda, I'm going to ask for the emergency on several pieces of legislation. 79, which is the accepting of a grant for the Cypress Avenue Extension Project. 83, the appropriations. 84, property acquisition. And 85, the PRV vault replacement project. We'll go over those once we get to them on the agenda. The splash pad and restrooms are going to close on August 6th, which is tomorrow. And it's going to close at 7 a.m. to repair a water leak. Once the repair has been made, it will reopen. Our Public Works Street Division just completed the paving of Sugar Ridge Road from Bender to the western border. They have some cleanup to do before they move on to the next street on the list, and that list, as always, is at nridgeville.org. This weekend is Corn Festival weekend, as I'm sure you're all familiar. It's the 49th Corn Festival, begins Friday, goes through Sunday, 9th through 11th. Bainbridge Road will be closed between State Route 83 and Route Road beginning Thursday, August 8th at 1 p.m. and will reopen on Monday, August 12th at 6 a.m. And that's to allow ample time for a setup and tear down. There'll be the parade held on Sunday, August 11th at 1:30, departing from North Ridgeville High School, traveling down Ranger Way to Center Ridge Road, to Route Road, to Bainbridge Road, ending back at the high school. those roads will be closed during the time of the parade. And also during the festival, the splash pad at South Central Park will be closed starting at 3 p.m. on Friday and will reopen to our residents on Monday, August 12th at 10 a.m. For a complete list of Corn Festival activities, please visit their website, cornfest.org. I have some incredible news to share. We have some national champions in the county. Congratulations to the Lorain County Youth Trap Team. As a result of a national tournament held in Columbus in July, we have 2 national champions here in the county. Jesse Scott is a junior at Keystone and an Elyria resident. And we have our very own North Ridgeville resident, Dakota Hessen, who's a sophomore at the high school. She won the women's division. So congratulations to both of them. A lot of hard work. There were some other teams that won, not quite first, but they did extremely well. They include the 7th and 8th grade squad, had a second place overall finish. The JV squad finished 4th, and the seniors team, which included Juliana Clark of North Ridgeville, finished in 4th place, missing a tie for first by 1 target. So congratulations to all them, and congratulations on winning a national championship in anything is really tough, but I know Dakota, she had 198 out of 200 targets that she hit, and hit all 100 out of 100 on the second day of the championship to win the tournament. So
Impressive.
congratulations. And yeah, I'm all into clay target shooting now, watching the Olympics. It sounds like a fun time, so might have to take that up. At this point, I'd like to make 2 different appointments. We have an opening at the BZA level, and I'd like to appoint Paul Graupman to that open position. Paul is on the Planning Commission, and we believe and had a conversation with Paul that his skill set would be better suited on the BZA, and he has graciously agreed to move over to that. So I'll move to appoint Paul to that open position on BZA.
Second.
I heard Winkle first. It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Winkle to appoint Paul Graupman to the Board of Zoning and Building Appeals. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none. Clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Abens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Awig,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
The motion for the appointment has passed.
Okay, now that opens up a spot on the Planning Commission, and I have an appointment for that as well. You're all familiar with Frank Toth. He was a councilman for some time, and he has agreed to take that open spot on Planning Commission, so I make the motion to appoint Frank Toth to the Planning Commission seat.
Second.
It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Abens to appoint Frank Toth to the Planning Commission. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none. Clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Abens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Awig,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion for the appointment has passed.
Okay, and finally, I move to go into executive session for the purposes of purchasing property and also to conference with the public body's attorney concerning pending or imminent court action.
Second.
The motion was made by the mayor and seconded by Swank to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing those matters just explained by the mayor. Clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Abens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Awig,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, thank you, clerk. At this time, we will adjourn temporarily into executive session. All right, at this time, I will make a motion to adjourn executive session and return to regular session.
Second.
Motion was made by Jacobs and seconded by Swank to adjourn executive session and return to regular session. Clerk, please call the roll.
Swank.
Yes.
Schaefer.
Yes.
Havens.
Yes.
Winkle.
Yes.
Awig.
Yes.
DeVries.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, executive session is ended, and we are now back in our regular session. Mr. Mayor, please continue your report if there is.
That concludes my report,
All
Mr.
right.
President. Thanks for having me.
All right, city engineer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Our pavement striping contractor will be doing most of their painting in the evenings to minimize interruptions to the traveling public. They are expected to start this Wednesday evening around 10 p.m. and will work through the night. They anticipate being finished in approximately 2 weeks. Our full-depth concrete pavement replacement is currently out to bid and includes joint repairs and block replacements for sections of Jason Drive, Lisa Way, Nicky Avenue, Main Avenue, Gatestone Road, and Oakwood Circle. The eastbound on-ramp on the turnpike at Lorraine Road is still closed. I believe it was expected to be open today, but they are anticipating another week of closure. The Chestnut Ridge Road culvert replacement is scheduled to start September 16th and will be closed for 90 days. The existing steel vault that houses a pressure-reducing valve located along Sugar Ridge Road that serves as one of our supply points of connection to Illyria's water distribution system is failing. The vault, which appears to have been installed around 1975, is showing severe signs of deterioration, including a disjoining seam between the walls and floor, which has enabled groundwater to seep in along the floor and is currently being pumped out and discharged at the surface. The vault has become unsafe and needs immediate replacement. The ordinance before you tonight, 2024-85, is for the construction costs to replace the vault, valving, and other appurtenances, and we would also ask for the emergency clause so that we may remedy this situation. Proposed ordinance 2024-79 before you tonight is to enter into agreement with the Ohio Office of Budget and Management, which would like to award us $700,000 from their one-time Strategic Community Investments Fund for the Cypress Avenue Extension Project. This money will help cover the cost of the $2 million plus project. And that concludes my report.
All right, thank you. Director of Finance?
Thank you, Council President. Before Council tonight is Ordinance 2024-83, an ordinance amending annual appropriations. In advance of this meeting, I sent members of Council a memorandum explaining each item within this amendment. I'd like to ask Council to consider adopting this legislation this evening with the emergency clause to provide the Department of Finance the resources necessary to meet our obligations. In addition, the annual financial report for year ending December 31st, 2023 is available for public inspection within the Department of Finance Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. for the next 10 days. The audited financial statements are due to be completed at the end of this month, which will allow the annual comprehensive financial report to be issued no later than September 2nd, 2024. Once those financial statements are finalized and the report is compiled, it will be available for public inspection on the Department of Finance's website. And that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. Please note that council has also received the June 2024 Parks and Recreation Division report. I think that brings us to recess.
Mr. President, move to dispense recess.
It was moved by Winkle and seconded by Awig to dispense with recess this evening. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. All opposed say no. All right, we'll move along to first readings, and up first, we have 2024-77.
A resolution supporting the Race Road and Maddock Road rail grade crossing elimination project.
(2024-78).
An ordinance amending Chapter 830 Home Occupations of the North Ridgeville Business Regulation and Taxation Code.
Okay, 2024-78 will be referred to the Buildings and Land Committee for further review. 2024-79.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of North Ridgeville to enter into an agreement with the State of Ohio Office of Budget and Management in order to accept a grant award for the Cypress Avenue Extension Project.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Mayor?
Move to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Awig to dispense with the second and third readings for 2024-79. Are there any comments or questions?
Mr. President, this is us receiving money, and we try to get that money as quickly as possible, which is the reason for asking for the emergency clause. If you remember, it was State Representative Gail Manning who secured that funding for us for this project, and it was in the amount, as the engineer pointed out, $700,000. So we appreciate all her efforts in securing that money for us.
Absolutely, thank you. Are there any additional comments or questions? So again, it was moved by the mayor and seconded by Awig to dispense with the second and third readings for 2024-79. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. All opposed say no.
Mr. President, move
Yes,
to
Mr.
adopt.
Mayor.
Second.
Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause so that we may receive these funds in a timely manner.
Second.
It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Awig to add the emergency clause to 2024-79 in order to receive these funds in a swift manner. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. It was then moved by the mayor and seconded by Awig to adopt 2024-79 with the emergency clause in place. Do we have any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Abens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Awig,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0, and 2024-79 is adopted.
2024-80.
An ordinance vacating a portion of Elmer Avenue.
2024-80 will be referred to the Planning Commission for further review. 2024-81.
An ordinance amending NRCO Section 452.03 prohibited standing or parking places.
And that will be referred to the Safety Committee for further review. 2024-82.
An ordinance establishing enforcement capability regarding fireworks for the police department.
And 82 will also be referred to the Safety Committee for further review. 2024-83.
An ordinance amending ordinance number 6121-2023 of the city of North Ridgeville, Ohio, providing appropriations for the period commencing January 1st, 2024, and ending December 21st, 2024.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. DeVries.
move to dispense with the second and third reading.
Second.
It was moved by DeVries and seconded by Awig to dispense with the second and third readings for 2024-83. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. DeVries.
move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause for the reasons stated by the Director of Finance.
Second.
It was moved by DeVries and seconded by Awig to add the emergency clause to 2024-83 for the reasons stated earlier by the Director of Finance. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. It was moved by DeVries and seconded by Awig to adopt 2024-83 with the emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swank,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Abens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Awig,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
2024-83 has been adopted.
2024-84.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with Root Development and Construction LLC for the purchase of real property.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
move to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Winkle to dispense with the second and third readings for 2024-84. Are there any comments or questions?
Mr. President,
Yes,
this
Mr.
piece
Mayor.
of property is an important piece of our Mill Creek Conservation and Flood Control Project, also affectionately referred to as the Boulder Drive Retention Basin Project. This helps with the conveyance of stormwater from the Cypress property up north to the Boulder Drive property, and gives us some additional wetlands that we can use as some of our leverage in conversations with the Army Corps of Engineers.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Are there any additional comments or questions? So again, it was moved by the mayor and seconded by Winkle to dispense with the second and third readings for 2024-84. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. All opposed, say no.
Mr. President, move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause so that way we may move our long-standing project forward and hopefully get it done in the next decade. Kidding,
Second.
sort of.
Second, everything but the decade.
All right, well, I did hear Mrs. Swink first. So it was moved by the mayor and seconded by Swink to add the emergency clause to 2024-84 for the reasons stated by the mayor. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Winkle to adopt 2024-84 with the emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Awig,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries and 2024-84 is adopted.
2024-85.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of North Ridgeville to advertise for bids and enter into a contract according to law and in a manner prescribed by law with the lowest and best bidder for the Sugar Ridge PRV Vault Replacement Project not to exceed $521,840.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
move to dispense with the second and third readings.
Second.
Is moved by the mayor and seconded by Winkle to dispense with the second and third readings for 2024-85. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no.
Mr. President, move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause as noted by the engineer. This is an emergency situation and is a focus point of water conveyance from our main supplier at this point, Elyria, and we need to get this done quickly before it fails.
Second.
The motion was made by the mayor and seconded by Winkle to add the emergency clause to 2024-85 for the reasons stated by both the mayor and the city engineer. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Winkle to adopt 2024-85 with the emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions?
Mr. President, I have a question.
Yes, Mr. Schaefer?
What is the difference between the lowest and the best bidder?
If I could.
Sure. City engineer?
Mr. President, the lowest and best bidder not only is obviously the lowest bid, but also the most qualified. So our office does an extensive review. We often check their references. We ensure that their bid proposal package is complete, and that gives us an opportunity to exempt them from awarding if something should be deficient.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, city engineer. And Mr. Schaefer, are there any additional comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Schaefer,
Yes.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Awig,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0, and 2024-85 is adopted.
All right, under second readings, we have 2024-71.
An ordinance repealing NRCO Section 222.03, fees for copies of the North Ridgeville Administration Code.
We have no third readings on tonight's agenda. As for meeting announcements, the next regular city council meeting will be held on Monday, August 19th, 2024, at 7 p.m. here in city council chambers. I would extend my congratulations to both Paul and Frank and thank them for their willingness to serve on our planning commission and the BZA. And with no further business before us this evening,
Mr. President, I have a
this
question to
meeting
ask.
is, Mr. Schaefer?
I've been approached by several of the constituents, some of them very vocally, and they're concerned with the fairly dramatic increase in property assessments, specifically the property assessments upon which the taxes are based. And this, combined with the recent tax for the schools, has got a lot of people in a panic. Is there anything we can do to help ameliorate some of the effects?
I do know that the county is offering an opportunity for homeowners to, I don't know what the proper term is, contest their valuation. So I would believe we would recommend that they, contact the county if they have concerns there. All right. with no
Mr.
vis-
President, if I may,
Yes, Mr. Avens.
the constituents should also be aware that the evaluation does not necessarily translate directly to increased taxes. And keep in mind that most of the taxes that are, property taxes that are in North Ridgeville have a set amount, and that's all that can be collected. And so I understand their apprehension, I'm in the same category, but it's not directly proportional. The tax increase, or the property value based upon the tax increase.
All right, thank you, Mr. Avens. This meeting is adjourned.